Hi, this is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, and I'm here today with a little bit of a Christmas recap. Most of my family loves to read, so there are lots of books exchanged on Christmas. So I thought I'd give you a little peek into the books that we gave and received this holiday. First, my son has already left for home, so I will show you a picture of the books that we gave him. So, as you can probably tell, those are all fantasy novels. He loves to read, like epic fantasies. There are a bunch of different series that he's into, but he also likes to read new stuff and standalones. So we got him a nice mix of titles that he's been dying to read. So I know he's going to enjoy those. My mother also shares my love of reading, so I got her 2 books for Christmas. So I haven't actually read either of these, which is unusual. I usually give her books that I've read and enjoyed. But when Where the Crawdads Sing came out by Delia Owens a couple of years ago, I had the wonderful opportunity to interview the author. Had a great conversation. She's absolutely delightful. She's got amazing life experience. And when I asked her what her favorite book was, she said, let's not go to the Dogs Tonight, by Alexandra Fuller, which was one of the books I gave my mom. It's a memoir of a woman who grew up in Africa. So I think my mom is really going to love that. I love reading Ann Tyler, and I think she will too. I haven't read this particular one before, but I chose The Redhead by the Side of the Road because my mom's a redhead. And as I expected, she was delighted by the title. So I think she's going to enjoy both of those. She just took them on her vacation with her, so I hope she enjoys reading those on the beach. Next up, I restocked my husband's to-be-read pile. So I'll show you what he's got here. Countdown City by Ben Winters. This is the second book in the, I'm trying to think what you call the series, in the Last Policeman trilogy. So I just gave him The Last Policeman for his birthday in October. He loved it. So this trilogy is kind of an interesting mix. It's not really post-apocalyptic, kind of pre-apocalyptic. There's a meteor headed for Earth, and they know when it's going to hit. So basically the world's going to be destroyed, and everyone knows it, and so people are dealing with it in different ways. But the main character in these 2 books, let's see what his name is. Hank Palace, Detective Hank Palace. So he was a police detective, and everything's kind of fallen apart with this end of the world coming, including the police department. But Hank just kind of feels like it's his duty to keep doing his job. So in each book, he is trying to investigate and solve a crime. I think this one is a disappearance. So my husband said the first book, The Last Policeman, was wonderful, and I think he's really going to enjoy this one too. Next up, another follow-up from a birthday gift. This is A Blizzard of Polar Bears by Alice Henderson. So her first book was The Solitude of Wolverines, and I heard everyone talking about that book. One of my favorite book podcasts, the Book Cougars, they were raving about it and actually interviewed Alice on their podcast, which I played for my husband too. So I got him the first book. These are thrillers, but the main character is not a detective or a forensic specialist or anything like that. The main character studies wildlife. I'm trying to think of her. Okay, she's a wildlife biologist named Alex Carter. So she studies wildlife. So the first book was about wolverines. This one's about polar bears. But in the course of the book, of course, there is some kind of crime or scandal, something going on that she ends up getting caught up in. So he loved the first book, A Solitude of Wolverines, and I know he's going to enjoy reading A Blizzard of Polar Bears too. Next up is an old favorite author of ours from way back in the 80s, Ken Follett, with his new novel, Never, which is a hefty one. I'm not going to be able to hold this up for long. So he and I both loved reading Ken Follett's thrillers back in like the 80s. And of course, more recently, Ken Follett's been writing these like epic historical novels, like Pillars of the Earth, which I read and really enjoyed. My husband hasn't read any of those, but this latest book is supposed to be kind of those two different aspects of his writing coming together. A thriller, but set in a historical period with lots of historical detail. So it's been getting great reviews. We both love reading Ken Follett, so I think he's really going to enjoy this one. And it should keep him busy for a while. And one last book for my husband. It wouldn't be a holiday without him receiving, or it wouldn't be Christmas without him receiving the latest Lee Child book. He loves the Jack Reacher series. As you can see, it is now being co-authored by Lee Child and Andrew Child, who I believe is his son. Let me see. I think it's his son. So this is the second one that he's co-authored with Lee Child. This is my husband's favorite series of all time. This is like his, reward book that just total fun for him. So I know he will enjoy this one. And the title is like the smallest thing on the cover, which is weird, but the title is Better Off Dead. I think it's number 26 in the Jack Reacher series. And finally, on to my Christmas stack. My husband got me some great books for Christmas, all that I am dying to read. First up, The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. I loved Station 11. I haven't read anything else of hers, but really loved Station 11. So I can't wait to read this. I've been wanting to read it ever since it was released. Similar story with The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker. She wrote The Age of Miracles, which I absolutely loved. And I can't wait to read this one too. So she usually does something with like, there's some sort of unexplained phenomenon going on. With The Age of Miracles, it was that time, I'm trying to think how this worked. I read it quite a few years ago. I think it was that time had slowed down, like the earth was rotating more slowly, so the days were getting longer and longer and longer. With The Dreamers, it has something to do with people dreaming. With people falling asleep and not waking up. So not dying, just not waking up. So can't wait. She's always got these intriguing premises, and she's a wonderful writer. For me, it wouldn't be a holiday without some kind of book that plays with time. This time my husband got me How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe by Charles Yu. I've heard good things about this book. I can't remember right now where I heard about it, but it sounds right up my alley. It has something to do with, time. Let's see. Yeah, it's time travel. But I think there's also some multiple universes stuff in here too. I love all of that. I just find it like mind-bending and thought-provoking. So I can't wait to read that one. And one of the top books of 2021, Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead. I loved The Underground Railroad by Whitehead, and I've been hearing amazing things about this book, so I can't wait to read it. So that was our Bookish Christmas. I would love to hear about your holidays. Did you give and receive any books? Tell me about it down below.